Right, hi guys, welcome to aeonic. I heard from that this is like an incredible game. I heard from Albert. Albert said this is really good, so I'm really excited to play this game. I heard that like the story is incredible. I didn't actually hear that, but I'm gonna play it. It's just tap to play, so I'm gonna like tap that. I didn't know how to read Roman numerals. Um, Century Europe. Amidst flickering candlelight and the scent of aged parchment, we, the seekers of forbidden knowledge, have, have uncovered a formula beyond comprehension, an arcane synthesis of mystical symbols and ancient sciences now lies within our grasp, a bridge through the veils of time. With this alchemical revelation, the past shall surrender its long guarded secrets, and the future shall unveil its enigmatic destiny. Forgotten empires will rise before our eyes. Ancient wars will rage anew. Kings and prophets will speak from beyond the ages. This is really good. Through this wonderful power, we shall transcend time's relentless march, exploring the boundless mysteries of human history, from its mythical dawn to its distant twilight. Our journey begins. Wow. I mean, that's pretty good attack. Wow. A primate concealed amidst the branches of a towering tree keenly observes a what? A formidable Smilodon lurking beneath. Scare the predator or continue hiding. I mean, he doesn't look very scary, honestly. Um, so I don't think I'd hide from him. So I think I'd scare him. I really have to read all this. The primate clings to the branch, eyeing Smilodon below. Spotting a loose vine nearby, the primate gathers all its courage and reaches over to give it a hard shake. Leaves rustle loudly and twigs fall, creating a sudden flurry of nausea blood. The Smilodon halts, looking up abruptly, letting out a growl. The primate reaches out to other veins nearby and gives them a shake, one after another. Unable to spot the source of the noise and to identify a danger, am I saying that right? Smilodon. The Smilodon paces tensely away from the tree, casting wary glances overhead. Finally, the predator sinks back into the shadows, giving up. Oh yeah, we beat him. The primate releases a quiet. Right, sorry. The primate releases a quiet breath, trembling, safe for now, amidst the cover of the treetops. Another day of survival, another victory till the next battle. Wow. I didn't think it was going to be, because this is like really good. I didn't think it was going to be this good. Next era. So I'm doing, so I guess I beat the first era and there's going to be more eras. Wow, this artwork is like incredible, by the way. I don't know who did this, but it's really good. As the tribe embarked on their mammoth hunt, an unexpected turn of events unfolded when a massive creature emerged directly before them. Throw the spear or shoot the bow. What was the difference? Um, I mean, it's pretty big, so I don't think either of them would do anything. Um, I guess, I guess I'll shoot the bow. Because maybe that could like go in his eye. In the tense silence, Hunter nocks an arrow, drawing the bowstring back as the mammoth stomps closer. The arrow flies, grazing the mammoth's thick hide, but barely penetrating. See, I mean, it's not doing anything. Furious, the massive creature charges, tusks gleaming. It barrels through the hunters, scattering them like leaves, crushing those in its path. The tribe's cries. What? Oh yeah, the tribe's cries echo as the mammoth, unstoppable in its rage, decimates the hunters, leaving the clearing littered with broken weapons and trampled earth. Next era. Okay, well, we're actually doing really well. I don't know how you lose, but we didn't lose. Well, I didn't lose. It's not really we. Um, Amidst the enchanting landscape of Mesolithic era, as a tribe of skilled hunters and gatherers continued their journey, they came along the they came along the lush they came along the lush prehistoric forest. Continue the way or stop for a rest. I think we should continue. I want to continue. I can't wait to see. Oh my god. Okay, wait. Who's that? Alright. Through the ancient endless woods they pressed, tribe of weary souls wrapped in firm resolve. The forest, primeval and unyielding, loomed above them, a tangle of towering trunks and whispering boughs. Where the light of day struggled and failed, they moved, stepping over roots thick as serpents, wading through streams that coiled like silver veins beneath the canopy. Night came upon them, and I thought ChatGPT wrote this. Why is there like a mistake? And the bay pressed on, torches flickering, casting fleeting ghosts upon the bark. The forest murmured with unseen things, eyes glinting in the undergrowth. I really hope my mic's turned on or I'm actually going to cry because I'm spending a long time reading this out. Eyes glinting in the undergrowth, the growl of something prowling in the shadows. A wolf called to the moon, its cry weaving through the branches. But the tribe did not break stride. They were hunters. They were gatherers, and they would not be turned back by the dark. Then, just as the first breath of dawn kissed the world, the trees thinned, their gnarled arms yielding to open sky, and there, beyond the last shadow of the forest, lay the land of their dreams. It stretched vast and untouched before them, a great rolling expanse, bathed in winter's fierce light. To the left, mountains rose, their peaks frowned in frost, stern and watching. To the right, the land descended, spilling into hills and valleys, where rivers curled and lakes lay still, reflecting the pale sky. The grass, though dusted with cold, shimmered in hues of red and yellow, stretching as far as the eye could see. Life was here, teeming, untamed. Herds of bison, sorry, herds of bison and deer roamed the plains, their breath misting the morning chill. Wolves prowled the riverbanks, eyes sharp and knowing. Great cats slinked through the brush, their sleek forms rippling with hunger and grace. Birds took flight in bursts of crimson and emerald, their wings flashing against the dawn. The tribe stood, their breaths mingling with the cold air, their hearts pounding with something like awe. This was the land they had sought, the land where they would hunt, where they would build, where their children would carve stories into the bones of the earth. The chieftain stepped forward. His voice, hoarse from the journey, rang clear in the quiet morning. We have found our home. Wow. Actually, it says he has a hoarse voice, so it's more like, we have found our home. It's not, I'm not putting that, I took that out of the recording because it was really, really shit. It was a really, I took that out of the recording because that was actually like a really bad voice, but, okay, next era, that was really good though. In the fertile lands of the Neolithic era, a peaceful settlement thrived along the banks of a winding river. The community had toiled tirelessly, mastering the art of agriculture and animal husbandry. What is that? Okay, anyway. Create create new plantations or try domesticating more animals. Hmm. How long is this game? I don't know how long I'm gonna be here. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Because I'm having a good time and I'm enjoying the story. I think I don't really want to. I think I'll maybe domesticate more animals and see if we can get like a farm. Oh my God! All right, sorry. They spread their nets wider, drove their spears deeper into the wilderness. They laid traps for wild horses, lured great aurochs into wooden enclosures, and sought even the deer. And as their herds swelled, their fires burned brighter, their voices louder in the night, the scent of their ambition thick upon the wind. As something else stirred, far beyond their fields, in the black heart of the wild, an ancient force awoke. A great pack older than any man's memory, older than the very village itself, wolves, huge and primeval. I'm not sure how you say it. Their eyes glinting like dying embers, their coats thick as the winter that carved the land. They had ruled these plains before humankind dared to settle, before the first field was sown, before the first stone was stacked atop another. And now they watched from the edge of the world, their hunger sharpening with each beast stolen from their domain. Then, one night, they came. It began with silence, the usual night sounds, the croaking frogs, the restless lowing of cattle, vanished. Stillness, vast and suffocating, settled over the village. The air was thick, expectant. Then came the first howl. Long, keening, keen, long, keening, ancient. It was answered by another and another. The first to fall were the herds. The wolves came like smoke, their great bodies moving as one, slipping between the crude wooden fences as though they were mist. The goats bleated, the horses screamed, but nothing could stop them. Blood spilled across the earth, dark and steaming. The people ran, their spears trembling in their hands, but the wolves were upon them before the first cry for aid could be answered. They did not fight like ordinary beasts. They were a tide, relentless, okay, relentless, monstrous. By dawn, the village was gone. Nothing remained but broken fences, scattered embers, and blood-soaked earth. The wolves, their hunger sated, melted back into the wild, leaving behind only silence. And so the land was theirs once more, free of the humans and their relentless ambition. I don't see how trying to tame animals made us all die from the wolves. But I mean, it is a good story. It's like a good story, I guess. Um, I guess we're gonna go to the next era. I'm not saying like I want this game to end, but like it is getting a little bit like old now. No, I'm not. I'm kidding. I'm having a good time. In the heart of a bustling Bronze Age city, the streets echo with the clanging of metal workers, hammers, and the chatter of merchants peddling their wares. Can you even die in this game, or is this just going to be like every era ever? Forge a sword for the warriors or forge an axe for the builders. I think I'll forge an axe for the builders because we can like build cool stuff. I mean, I don't know, like I should probably be expecting it by now. Forge is raw. Oh my god. The forges roared like living beasts, their bellies filled with fire, their breath rising in thick plumes of smoke. In the heart of the city, where stone streets wound between towering walls, the metal workers toiled, their bodies slick with sweat, their hands blackened by soot. Bronze was their gift to the world, drawn from the bones of the earth and shaped by fire and will. The smiths worked in rhythm, their hammers striking anvils in a steady song that echoed through the city like a heartbeat. For the foresters, they forged axes, blades broad and sharp, gleaming with the promise of felled timber. Each edge was owned with hon and myrrh, with care, tempered in water drawn from the great river. I was gonna cough. Okay. They tested them upon oak and ash, smiling as the wood split clean beneath the weight of their craft. For the builders, they shaped mighty hammers, their bronze heads heavy, their handles strong with the grip of leather. With these, men would raise walls higher than before, carve great beams to hold roofs against the wind, and lay foundations that would stand for generations. The tools left the tools left the forge, carried by calloused hands to those who would wield them. The foresters took to the wild, their axes ringing through the trees, shaping the land to feed the city's hunger. The builders laid stone and wood, raising new homes, grand halls, and temples to the gods. And the city grew. Its streets bustled with life, its markets swelled with grain, cloth, and bronze. The smoke of the forges never faded, for always there was work to be done. New tools to craft, new ambitions to shape. The metal workers stood at the heart of it all, watching with quiet pride as their labourers bore fruit. With each axe that struck true, with each hammer that built higher, the city stood taller, and the smiths, their arms strong from toil, knew that in the fire and the metal they had forged not just tools, but the future. Cool, so it's just going to be like another era. Who is that? The clang of iron weapons and tools being forged echoed through the land, while the inhabitants worked diligently to secure their homes against potential invaders. Okay, we can prepare for attacking or prepare to attack. I don't really want to attack. Why are we? Okay, there are potential invaders. I think we should defend. I mean, either way, it's just gonna be like loads of reading. Like, yeah, okay, well. Oh, yes, yes! It's not even that big. Recognizing the imminent threat of invasion, the inhabitants quickly set to work fortifying their homes and gathering supplies. They construct barricades and sharpen their weapons, while experienced fighters strategize, coordinating their defenses. As night falls, torches are lit, casting flickering shadows on the walls. The inhabitants stand ready, united in purpose. They take their positions, each person aware of their role in the defense of their community. However, as the enemy approaches, it becomes clear that they are far better equipped and organized than anticipated. Oh no. The invaders launch a fierce assault, breaching the barricades with terrifying ease. Despite their determination, the inhabitants find themselves overwhelmed, their defences crumbling under the weight of the onslaught. The clang of metal and cries of battle fill the air, but ultimately, the strength of the invaders prevails, leaving the once thriving settlement in ruins, echoes of defeat lingering in the night. So the stories just like aren't connected. So I'm not even like doing this for a reason. I'm just like reading for no reason. Albert said this had like a good story. No, it's good. It's still good. I would never disrespect aeonic. I marched between to great bare cliffs, leading my soldiers behind my back. We scattered out of the narrow paths into the open field and took formation instantly. The enemy force stood ahead. Shields, helmets, breastplates, swords, and spears shone like a field of gold before us. They had come, a great force, to take our fatherland. We were what stood in their way. Feign retreat or attack. What are we doing? We're like, we're a whole army and we're marching to go and attack them, I think. Well, we have a big army, so I think we should attack them. It's the whole screen. I had studied the ground before the battle, tracing every slope, every uneven patch of earth. The enemy, confident in their size, had spread their forces wide, seeking to envelop us. But wide lines are thin lines, and thin lines break. I commanded my soldiers to hold the centre, voice sharp as iron. The odds were heavily against us, but that was not a challenge for the Spartans. Each of us had been trained to fight the strength and skill of 3 men. This force, however, was too immense even for us. If we met it in its full potential, we would collapse under the sheer numbers of the foe. I knew the path to victory, feigned retreat, a sacrifice of honor, the sting of cowardice in the eyes of the world. But a Spartan does not feign fear. A Spartan stands, fights, dies, with his shield or upon it. I clenched my jaw and raised my spear. Hold the line. Hold the line. Hold the line. I believe that the earth, our fatherland, will help its sons protect it. I had chosen a rough terrain for the battlefield. Who is watching this video? Who is actually watching me read all this stuff? Nobody is watching this. Anyway, yeah, I had chosen a rough terrain for the battlefield, one that a Spartan grew up on since he couldn't even walk. I knew the enemy was not accustomed to fighting in the harsh circumstances of our lands. The enemy came coordinated like a tide as we charged to meet them with the strength of the earth beneath our feet. Shields locked, spears struck true, and men fell screaming into the dust. We held our ground as the enemy struggled to keep balance and move fast and precise. Me and my soldiers took advantage of every mistake made by our foe and struck down many in a matter of instants. So I think we're winning the battle. We fought unyielding as red light poured from above upon the bloodied earth, but the enemy was too many and us too few. We struck down 5 or our foe to each Spartan we lost. Wait, it doesn't say next era, it says continue. Wait, I might be at the end. Yes, but no. I'm actually really sad because I really enjoyed that game. Um, but the enemy soon started to attack, and our rank shuddered under the sheer pressure. Pride is not stone; it cracks beneath the weight of inevitable. I know how to say that. This is a word I actually know how to say. Inevitability. I saw it happen, the centre bending, not from fear but exhaustion. My brothers stood, bled, died, silent and steadfast. Had I ordered the retreat, drawn them into our ground, thinned them into brittle strands, we might have struck like a hammer and shattered them. But I had chosen honor, and honor was what ended us. What? Wait, so did I actually mess it up because I pressed attack? I think I just lost. Why didn't they just say like you died? They could have just said, okay, well let's continue. Maybe there'll be a new era. Oh, oh, so it's just 2 pages. It's just another page. And then there's another era. All right. Thanks, Aeonic. Thanks. Yeah. Oh my. Oh, sorry. Their wide lines folded inward, the enemy's flanks charging towards the center we had attacked, coming from behind us, surrounding us from all our sides. They broke us and swallowed us whole. One by one, my Spartans fell, not as cowards, but as men betrayed by their own commander's pride. The red sun hung overhead as I stood alone, shield cracked, breath ragged. My blooded, my bloodied spear drooped toward the earth, no longer defiant. I looked up to the crimson sky where the red sun shone, silent with shame. The last of my men fell, one by one, around me, the enemy drawing closer to me by the moment. I knew history would call us brave. But I knew the truth. I had spared our name and sacrificed the brave, loyal men that stood by my side, under my lead, because of the trust they had in me as a commander. They died for nothing but hollow words. For die might our fatherland itself, as the king's forces were no match to the Spartans, even if they were in great numbers. Okay, next era. That was good. We died. We're only at Egypt. We're only at Egypt. There's like a lot more eras to go. Oh, wait. There's that. How long is this gonna take? Because it's 8:30 right now, and I was like, I was gonna like, it doesn't matter. Um, all right, let's do it. I entered. Maybe I should be more positive. Maybe I should. Yeah, I entered Egypt in autumn with my army of Macedonians and Greek. Found the Egyptians ready to rid themselves of the oppressive Persian rule. Took the country without a battle. They welcomed me as a liberator. Visit the oracle. Establish Alexandria. Do it. Is that Alex? I guess Alex. I'll establish Alex. Oh yes! We're actually speedrunning it now. In 332 BCE, during my Persian campaign, I founded the city to be the capital of my new Egyptian dominion and a naval base to control the Mediterranean. I chose the location, which included the ancient settlement of Rapotis because of its abundant water supply from Lake Mariot. What? Fed by a branch of the Canopic Nile and the excellent anchorage provided by the nearby island of Pharos. Cool, next era. This guy was on the Steam page. He's pretty cool. Even these are getting on now. In the midst of his rule, oh, it's Julius Caesar. Oh, okay. In the midst of his rule, Julius Caesar, with unwavering determination, introduced land redistribution policies. These policies were meticulously crafted to al- alleviate okay, the plight of the urban. Okay, I need to try to alleviate the plight of the urban poor and honor the valor of the Roman legion's veterans. In this strange move, Caesar sought not only to secure their unwavering loyalty, but also to confront and rectify rectify the long rectify the long-standing issues of inequality that plagued the realm's land ownership. You know, I was really excited to play this game. Like at the start, I was so happy. I was like laughing. I was laughing so much. I was really happy to play aeonic. And now, look where we are. I'm not. I mean, I'm a bit miserable now because it's a bit. I'm not trying to be negative or anything, but like, if I had to say, like, if I had to describe it in one word, it would be like word because there's a lot of words. Um, I didn't. I can't even remember what that said. Implement these reforms, navigate the complexities of land distribute. I just don't want to do that. That sounds really boring. Implement these reforms. And what reforms are we implementing? No, it doesn't matter. I think they gave up, even they gave up with like the long answers now. Julius Caesar, resolute in his vision for a more equitable Rome, set the machinery of reform in motion. He summoned the Senate, laying out his comprehensive land redistribution plan. I thought we weren't doing that. I thought we weren't redistributing our land with clarity and conviction. His passionate rhetoric An undeniable logic swayed many senators, even those who had previously opposed him. As the reforms were implemented, parcels of land were allocated to the urban poor and veterans alike, fostering a renewed sense of hope within the populace. The rural landscape transformed as new farms sprang up and communities flourished under the promise of opportunity. Former soldiers found stability in their new roles as landowners, while the urban poor began to cultivate their own destinies. The success of these reforms strengthened Caesar's support, cementing his legacy as a leader who truly cared for the welfare of his citizens. That's good. Well, at least this one's got like a happy ending. That's good. So, we're at Jesus. We reached to Jesus. Okay. Actually, wait. How long is this game? Because this recording might be so big. I've been recording for 30 minutes. This recording might be so big that like I can't even save it. And if I can't save this recording, I spent like a really long time reading the whole of Aeonic. So I'm gonna be like really angry. But I think I have enough space, luckily. A wealthy young man approached Jesus asking, "Good teacher, what must I do to inherit eternal life?" Jesus replied, "Why do you call me good? No one is good except God alone. You know the commandments. Do not murder, do not commit adultery, do not steal, do not give false testimony, honor your father and mother." The man answered, "Teacher, all these I have kept since I was a boy." Jesus looked at him with love and said, "One thing you lack. Go, sell everything you have and give to the poor, and you will have treasure in heaven. Then come follow me." Yeah, of course I'm going to do what Jesus says. Like, that's pretty wise. I give to the poor. That's good. This is a good story, this one. That very day he walked through the streets, unburdening himself of his riches, his wealth pouring into the hands of the poor. Coins clattered into begging bowls, fine robes wrapped shivering shoulders. With each gift, a new freedom swelled within him. And when he returned to Jesus, his feet bare, his hands empty, but his heart light as the wind, he said, "Master, I have done as you said." Jesus smiled, his eyes alight with joy. "Come," he said, "follow me." And so the young man did, walking in the footsteps of the Christ, no longer bound by earthly riches, but rich in the kingdom of heaven. Does that mean like Jesus killed him? So he went to heaven? I don't know. How long is this game? I actually don't want to do any more reading. I was so happy at the start. The students of Mesrop Mashtots, who was taking a part in translating the Bible into the Armenian language using the alphabet, which our teacher had invented recently in 405 AD. We're only at 405 AD. Actually, wait, we got past BCE, so you know we beat that bit. Was passing by a small church on my way back from one of the big cities. I carried with me the copies of the Bible in Greek, which we would need in order to improve our translation. As the weather was foggy and rainy, I thought I could stop in the monastery for a small rest. No, we're not stopping. We're not stopping for a rest. We're continuing. The weather was not welcoming, but I decided not to lose my time and continued my way. After several days, I finally reached my destination, while my mentor and my friends were anticipating my arrival, and now we, the unfortunate, will continue to take part in this sacred work of translating the Bible. Oh, yes! Giving the chance to read the life of Jesus Christ to more people, the story of the greatest miracle of the history of the past, the present, and for as long as the world will stand. I, Justinian, Justinian the First, am now thinking about the most important aspect of our empire, law and religion, and I should now decide which one of them to start evolving first. Law or religion? I think law. No offense, like Jesus. We already did your bit. As I watched Tribonian take charge of the monumental task before him, I knew the future of our empire depended on the revision of our legal code. Our laws must reflect the glory of Rome, yet adapt the world to the world we built. Tribonian and his team meticulously examined the 12 tables and our ancient edicts, finding their enduring principles that served us well. I saw the need to extend protections to all free people, not just citizens, and to strengthen judicial fairness. Our property laws, too, must evolve with the changing tide of commerce and urban wealth. The debates were fierce. Some wished to hold on to tradition, others to reform, but Tribonian, whatever, understood. The code must honor the past, but it also must be alive, ready to grow with the empire. Thus, we began the work, shaping a code that would guide us now and in the future, a lasting testament to Roman law. That's good. Next era. Okay, cool. That's really nice and good. Next era. Whoa. Did the AI not have like a filter on this? Because that's like a lot of blood. I'm joking, it's not actually AI. Why are these so long? Don't worry, I'll read it. I wouldn't skip it. The grand courtyard of Holy Basilica was filled with nobles, clergy, and common folk alike, as I stood in mighty armor on guard for my king. Okay. His Holiness the Supreme Pontiff had invited the king. Is this a true story? Is this story a true story? Is any of this a true story? I mean, I know the Jesus bit is true. Actually, that's like that. No, that's your opinion. That's like your beliefs. I'm not gonna. Okay. I don't honestly. I don't think this one's true. Um, a meeting of faith and unity. Okay, wait. It's Mike. Okay. A man beloved by all, his presence a symbol of divine guidance. The king himself had spoken highly of him, as had all who held power within our realm. Trumpet sounded, and my king stepped forward to address the crowd, his voice steady, filled with conviction. He spoke of peace, the prosperity of the bond between crown and faith. The people listened enraptured. And then, as if the heavens themselves shattered, the air was filled with the sound of steel leaving its sheath. The attack came from the very men sworn to divine service, His Holiness's personal guard. No, we're not going to protect the king. We should hold off till the guard arrives. Or we could just let the king die. He seems kind of like not very good. I just hit my desk, but I don't think you heard that. But I don't want to read this. Oh, we doomed the king. That's a spoiler. Um, they moved with the precision of trained warriors, striking not in anger or desperation, but with terrifying efficiency. I barely had time to react as the first blade slashed towards the king's back. Oh no, the king's being killed. I moved on. That's what I wanted. I moved on instinct in intercepting the strike. Steel and meeting steel. I'm actually never gonna want to read anything again after this. This is actually gonna make me hate reading. That's not true. I will read things, but like a sentence max. I never want to read like this is kind of bad. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna say it like maybe aeonic isn't as good as I thought, and maybe Albert is just wrong, and aeonic isn't good. I don't know. Look, I'll see you at the end. I moved on in second. I already did that. A third came. Did I read that? No, I didn't. A second attacker lunged, his sword aimed for my throat. I twisted, barely evading, and countered with a killing thrust. A third came from my left, his strike forcing me to step back, giving just enough space for the fourth and fifth to close in. Five of them, the elite warriors of the point, formidable, relentless, deadly. I had no time to think. My sword danced through the air, deflecting, striking, carving through the flesh and armor alike. I fought with every ounce of strength, knowing I was alone. Knowing that my king's life depended on my blade, I killed one, then another. Blood stained the sacred ground. My muscles burned, my breath came ragged, but I did not falter. A sword slashed across my side, another nicked my thigh. Pain flared, but I pushed forward, my blade driving through the chest of a third guard. Cool. So we're like gonna die for the king, maybe. I don't know. But my strength won. I knew the rest of the king's guard would come. I only needed to hold on. I stepped back, parrying rather than striking, focusing on surviving long enough for the reinforcements to arrive. I moved cautiously, dodging, letting them tie themselves, hoping desperately to see friendly banners pushing through the crowd. A roar of rage from behind me. The king, wounded, fighting with what strength he had, his golden cloak now stained red. But the assassins were not done as I retreated, getting farther away. My king trying to preserve my life. Another blade found my ribs, slipping past my arm. I staggered, trying to stay on my feet, my vision swimming. I shoved my sword deep into the stomach of my opponent in rage, and then I saw what my hesitation had cost. The king was alone, final assassin, unnoticed in the chaos. Drove his blades deep into my king's chest. Alright, I didn't really care. The world seemed to stop. Oh no, the world seemed to stop as the monarch gasped, his sword slipping from his grip. He fell to his knees, his gaze meeting mine, filled not with anger, but sorrow had failed him. No. I dropped to my knees beside him as my own strength faded. The king's guard finally reached us, cutting down the last of the traitors, but it was too late. The king's breaths came shallow and uneven, and then, with one final exhale, he was gone. I had tried to hold on. I had tried to survive, but in doing so, I had doomed my king. My instincts won against my human valor and cost me the life of my king. Alright, I really don't care. And now the people of my fatherland would suffer in the chaos that would follow for a long time. I guess I wasn't really expecting for it to end, but I was like hoping. Um, we're only 40 minutes in, so how long is this? The salty wind whipped through my hair. I raised my axe high, letting out a fierce cry that resonated across the waves. My comrades echoed on my core, adrenaline surging through our veins as we prepared to storm the beach. As the longship crashed against the shore, I leaped from the prow, standing with a determined thud on the wet sand. Fueled by the thrill of battle, I charged towards the foreaxe gleaming in the morning light. I stood shield up and an axe ready, watching the walls for archers as my people rammed the giant oak gates. Break into the fort, scale the walls. What if I just want to turn around and go home? Maybe you could add that. Maybe you could have made do an update. I wouldn't play it, but you could add an update where you could just like add like a quit button or like an exit or like end game. What if I press escape? Okay, you can't. You literally cannot shut aeonic. Um, right. Well, I guess. Um, well, they're the same thing, really. I guess we should scale the walls. I guess we shouldn't like break it because then we can like sneak in. No. Maybe I should have picked the other one. It might have been like a bit less text. But while the others rushed to break into the gates, I did not. I turned to the men I had chosen and gave them a signal. We broke from the main force, our movements hidden beneath the chaos of the charge. 10% in. The enemy was focused on the ground and the raging warriors ramming the gate. They were occupied with raining down storm barriers and my people. They never saw us as we moved under the massive walls and scaled them, ropes in hand, slipping over the battlements like ghosts. The sentries above had no chance. One by one they fell to our axis, their bodies slumping before they could raise an alarm. Below, my what? My folk broke through the thick wood of the gate. And battle raged, the sound of chaos hiding in our presence. If anyone is watching this whole thing, thank you. Because like I'm like reading all this stuff and it's like really boring. So like if anybody is experiencing this, like this boredom as well, then that's good. At least it's just like not just me, because I think I'm actually the only person on Earth who is reading the whole of Aeon. Aeonic. Come on. I actually lost my place now. I don't know where I was. I think I'm here. I hope I'm here. We moved swiftly, cutting down everyone on our way in stealth. The fort was large, but we knew where to go. This place held wealth beyond coin, treasure forged for war, the armor of their greatest warriors, the weapons of their mightiest champions. This fort was the place where the most terrible of the foe's strength was built for his most dangerous men, and that was what we had come for. We climbed up the walls as my God. We climbed off the walls as we got closer to the building, then we moved through the narrow stone corridors with lesser constructions to remain hidden among the chaos of battle. We grabbed like wolves hunting prey. We reached the main building in the center of the fort, and as I expected, we found it guarded, but against a threat that could be seen. Not one that jumped out of the shadows and was just as silent. The five of us fell 10 times. You know, they could at least have some music in this game. It's so boring. Anyway, I'm going to keep reading the whole thing. The five of us fell 10. Did I get there? I'm going to stop stopping. I'm sorry. Not the one, not one that jumped out of the shadows and was just as silent. Okay. The five of us fell 10 times our number in stealth and attacks never expected, full of animalistic rage. But there's only one stone and dead bodies surrounding us. We moved towards the building and crashed its doors to face yet another stone maze of rooms, stairs, and passages, but we were relentless and we submitted all of the few who tried to resist us inside. And on one of the floors of the a chamber filled with glistening chainmail, breastplates, gilded helms, swords with jeweled pommels, the shields etched with the marks of the enemy's highest command. The spoils of victory lay before us, and we did not hesitate. We took what we could carry. This was more than plunder, it was power. As we stood waiting inside, a horn bellowed outside, echoing across the fort's walls. Steps filled the stronghold, echoing off the stone of the floor as many feet rushed through its mazes. I stood with a sword of equality and beauty and never before seen to me, in hands as my people broke into the chamber and halted in awe. As they shoved each other aside to have a glance at the treasure we had found, I smiled a proud smile and stepped aside for them to come and take what was theirs by the right of the victorious. That's nice, okay. It's so long. It's so long. Wait, can you even hear me? Okay, that's good. That's great. And all around us as we ascended the slopes of Mount Fuji. This is okay. Slopes of Mount Fuji are burners snapping in the cold air. A shotgun. She doesn't say that. A shotgun led the column. We were warriors hardened by battle, yet in the the fear in the eyes of the villagers who had begged for aid lingered in my mind. They spoke of a valley hidden deep in the fog, a place near where they sometimes herded their animals, but now feared beyond reason. They had heard things deep, guttural sounds that made their bones tremble. Some claimed to have seen monstrous shadows moving within the mist, and others whispered that the earth itself had shivered beneath them. They believed the old demons had returned, awakened from slumber to claim them all. As we rode closer to the valley, the air grew heavier. The wind no longer howled, it whispered. We stopped at the edge of a steep descent. Staring down into the abyss of fog below, I noticed that it was shifting in strange, unnatural patterns. It was as if the mist itself breathed alive and watchful. The sky above us was so naturally dark, with clouds pressing low, suffocating the light of the sun. Like horse shifted uneasily beneath me, ears twitching, the others muttered amongst themselves, gripping their weapons tighter. Even I hesitated, eyes scanning the valley, my usual confidence shadowed by uncertainty. Leave. Leave and never return. Yeah? Leave and never ever return. How? We left and we never returned, and it's still a full screen of yeah. I turned to my men. We go back, it was all I said. They did not argue. We turned our horses, retreating to the village. There I gathered the people and told them to leave, take their families, take their belongings, and go far from the police. Some wept, others prayed, but none protested. Night fell as we prepared to depart, but exhaustion weighed upon us. The march up the mountain and back had drained even the strongest, even the strongest among us. That's crazy. They put like a reference in it. Um, okay, we we would leave at dawn. I slept lightly, my sword within reach. The wind still whispered beyond the walls of the house I had taken shelter in, carrying it was something I could not. A sound, faint, distant, but it was outside the valley. It was here. I woke to silence. A shadow moved in the darkness. Cold steel kissed my throat. I did not even have time to cry out. Asterisk, asterisk, asterisk. A black raven soared high in the sky below, grey heavy clouds above the lands of Mount Fuji. For days it had been searching and yet no avail. There was not even the smallest of prey below on the vast lands. Further and further it flew, day after day, hunger gnawing at it crueler by the moment. For the first time over the course of the many days, the smooth land covered in short grass interrupted. Ahead the land sank to reveal a great valley. It was a valley of mist and quiet. The raven knew it wouldn't be good to find food. It wouldn't find food amidst the mist. So thick it was. Okay. Below, the fog churned unnaturally. Then it moved. Oh, something immense, something that should not be shifting beneath the veil of mist. The raven stilled in the air, instincts flaring with a primal terror it did not understand. Whatever lurked below was no ordinary creature. It was too large, too impossible. The raven gave a single harsh cry and banked sharply away. There would be no prey for a long, long flight. Nothing dared remain in the shadows of what lay beneath. What era are we at? We're at Leonardo. That okay? Come on, come on. That is just not. They could have like put in the prompt a couple more times to get it looking something like the Mona Lisa. Yeah, also he has four fingers, but that's not the point. Why did they use like the worst AI? Wait, so we play as, well, we don't play, we read as Leonardo da Vinci now. That's cool. I, Leonardo da Vinci, found myself immersed in a world of boundless creativity and intellectual exploration. The Renaissance was a time when the arts and sciences converged, and I relieved in this age of enlightenment. With a quill in my hand, okay, but no, these are the two options. With a quill in my hand, I built a bridge between art and invention. With a brush and pattern, I captured the essence of the human spirit. Which one would be less words to read? Help me finish aeonic quicker. Um, probably, hopefully, this one. I think that one could have more to it. Yeah, okay. Good move. Standing before a blank canvas, I dipped my brush into vibrant pigments, ready to unleash the depth of human emotion onto the fabric before me. Each stroke was deliberate, a reflection of the spirit. It's nearly been an hour. A reflection of the spirit and complexity of my subjects. I captured the beauty of the human form and the intricacies of nature, intertwining them into compositions that resonated with the viewer. My masterpieces adorned the walls of noble homes and public spaces, each one eliciting awe and admiration. Patrons clamored for my work, drawn to the way I encapsulated the essence of life itself. The depth. This is like the most boring thing ever. Who writes like this? Nobody writes this boring. I have never read in my life anything more boring than aeonic. depth of colour and light in my paintings invited contemplation, stirring the hearts of those who gazed upon them. As my reputation soared, I found myself at the forefront of the Renaissance art movement, my canvas becoming symbols of the era's brilliance, the intersection of artistry and emotion transformed my work into a celebration of the human experience, solidifying my legacy as a master of my craft. In that time of enlightenment, I understood the profound impact of art shaping both culture and consciousness. That's good. It's so long. All right, this game is shit. I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna be completely honest. Don't play this. Don't ever, ever play this. I think I might quit. I think I might quit Aeonic. I think I'm done. I think I am actually done because this is terrible. Never, ever, ever, ever play Aeonic. Just this is this is a waste of your time and just don't actually I mean it wasn't that bad, like it kind of was. I mean I could do a bit more. No, I'm not doing any more. This is really terrible. Okay, my final decision is that it's actually terrible and it's like AI slop. I think the reviews were right and I think it's pure AI slop and I think it is a not even a good PowerPoint presentation. I think it's a shit PowerPoint presentation. I think you should never ever ever play Aeonic in your life. It's the most boring thing that exists ever. And that's my review of Aeonic. That's the end. This is terrible. Um Yeah, so let me know if you want me to do a part two and finish the game. Thanks for watching my Aeonic Let's Play. Um, it's really long, but it's pretty good. It was pretty okay. I'm gonna stop now.